Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who animations. And my question is, what are your 5 favorite animations thus far? And we're going to talk about my 5. Now, I'm going to be looking at not only animation styles, but how they're used in the story, how effective they are at conveying the story, and how they potentially go with any live action episodes that might exist with them. Now, at the bottom of the list for me in 5th place is the Underwater Menace. I actually really like the animation for this one. I feel like it has a nice fluidity of motion to it that we haven't seen since the Macra. The characters tend to move very lifelike. I don't feel like I'm looking at drawings or puppets on a string or that kind of janky South Park movement that some of them like 3 from the Deep have. The movements feel very natural here, which is a big deal to me. So I like that. Now, I haven't watched the color version of this. I don't know if I ever will, honestly. I prefer the black and white versions because half of the story does exist. I mean, 2 of the 4 episodes exist. It seems silly to me to watch reconstructions of episodes that exist. I can't even wrap my head around the logic of that. I guess for a younger audience that needs it to be in color in 16:9 and needs to be a consistent medium throughout, I can understand doing that, and it's obvious to tell who the target audience is for these. But as someone who grew up with classic Who and is used to my old school 60s Who being in black and white, I'm fine watching the 2 surviving episodes with the black and white animation. And that's what I've watched, and that's probably all I'll watch. Although I'll probably watch the new recon of episodes 1 and 4 at some point. But I think the animation is really good in black and white. It looks nice in 4:3. It looks traditional. And I feel like it's not jarring going between the animated episodes and the live action episodes. I mean, there are slight differences in them, but it never feels jarring like it does in some of the other animations. I was perfectly fine going from animated episode 1 to live action episode 2 and 3 back to animated 4. I didn't have a problem with that. The likenesses looked pretty good. I know some of them were a carryover from like Evil. A couple of the choices with the likenesses for the animation I didn't really care for, like the King being redesigned and Zoloff or whatever his name is doesn't quite look like Zardoff or whatever. He doesn't quite look right. You can tell it's him, but something with the hair is not quite right. But I think the backgrounds look really good and the character models fit it really well. Number 4 on the list is Evil of the Daleks. I really enjoy Evil of the Daleks. I feel like the team that did Evil is the better of the 2 teams. I tend to like their art style better. Evil doesn't quite measure up with Macra, but it is a step up from Faceless Ones, which was still good. Faceless Ones had some good animation. But Evil's is an improvement over it. Troughton's face isn't 100% right, but it's really close. It's a minor nitpick. Jamie looks good. Victoria looks good. The guest cast look good. The older professor guy who never seems to smoke a cigar doesn't quite look right. His hair needs to be a little wilder, in my opinion. But it's close. The Daleks look really good. I love those 3D Dalek models. And the location work looks really good, especially once they get on Skaro. And I really like the black and white and the color version of it. The surviving episode 2, of course, is phenomenal. But the black and white and color versions are both really good. I tend to like to watch black and white in the early parts of it, and then the last couple episodes, I think I prefer to switch to color because the color really pops when they're on Skaro. It's nice to see a story like Evil get its visual representation, which is needed for so long, and it really pops on screen. Number 3 is Power of the Daleks Special Edition. Now, the 2016 edition was fine, but a little rough, but I enjoy the 2020 edition. It's still not as refined as some of the others, but it is a huge improvement, and I love Power of the Daleks as a story. Part of it is just the strength of Power of the Daleks itself being so good. And I probably would have never watched it if it hadn't been in animated form, or at least I wouldn't have watched it as soon as I did. So I love the animation for that. It looks really good. It is a little more bare bones compared to some of the animations we've gotten since. But again, the Dalek models look phenomenal. I feel like the characters, for the most part, look right, and I really enjoy them. I like what they do with Lesterson a lot. Troughton looks really good as the Doctor. it just really makes the story come to life to me. I mean, Power of the Daleks is one of the best stories to come out of the 60s. It's one of the best Dalek stories as well. And the fact that it can be completely missing and that it has to stand on the animation is a testament to how well it's written. It's such a good story. Number 2 on the list is the Macra. This is definitely the pinnacle of post-Power animation. The fluidity of movement is unmatched. The way the characters move here is so smooth, so lifelike. They really need to get Sun and Moon Studios back because they were so good on this project. The likenesses are really good. Ben's isn't the best, but it's all right. Polly looks good. Jamie looks good. The guest cast look good. The Doctor looks really good. His nose isn't 100% accurate, but Troughton does look really good in the role. And just the facial expressions people do and the way they move their bodies is so good in this story. The backgrounds look good. I love the liberties taken with the story. The Macra look phenomenal, which in the original surviving episodes, if they had survived, I should say, in the original episodes, we've seen pictures. They looked a little B-movie naff. They have really tweaked the Macra to make them intimidating and scary and fearful. It's such a good story. I love it in color. I love it in black and white. I love the Macra. It is now one of my favorite stories, and that is straight up due to the animation being so good. And just edging it out for the number 1 spot is the Moon Base, which of course is a pre-Power animation, which of course is just in black and white and is just the missing episodes animated to complement the surviving episodes. So episodes 2 and 4 exist, 1 and 3 are animated. Planet 55 does their best work here. They really perfected and honed their craft. They learn from their mistakes from Reign of Terror. They learn from their mistakes from 10th Planet. And they put out 2 cracking episodes of animation. It looks good. It mirrors well with what's going on in the surviving episodes, probably going off original telesnaps, I'm betting. Ben and Polly look really good. Jamie looks really good. Troughton looks amazing. The Troughton animation looks phenomenally good. Most of the guest characters look good. The guy who runs the station, his animation looks a little odd, but most of it looks really good. And the movement is done really well, and the facial expressions are done really, really well. I love the animation for the Moon Base. So that is my top 5 animations so far. I want to know what your top 5 are and what you think of my list, so comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. And don't forget to click, don't forget to check out my Patreon. My voice is starting to go on me. Don't forget to check out my Patreon if you would like to support me that way. There's links to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Perkins. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. It is much appreciated. YouTube memberships are also available. I certainly appreciate all of my YouTube members as well. I have a P.O. box down there if you would like to check that out, and a link to my Amazon wish list is down there as well. Most importantly, thank you for watching.